everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I posted a video for you guys. If you're new here, my name is Kaitlyn. I'm 35 years old and I have been sharing everything on my journey to becoming a single mom by choice. From my egg freezing back in March last year to 3 failed IUIs and then jumping into IVF. Everything kind of came to a pause after I created embryos in October for my IVF journey, and just wanted to give you all a little bit of a life update. So again, like I said, I had 3 failed IUIs. I jumped into IVF to create some embryos back in October. And originally I was planning on a transfer December timeframe, like right before the holidays. However, I ended up going to homecoming at my college. And for those of you that don't know, I cheered in college. I was a competitive cheerleader my whole life. And then wasn't really planning on going to homecoming. My girlfriends weren't going. They had other obligations, but I already had a ticket, so I figured, why not? I'll go and stay till at least halftime and get recognized on the field and then dip out and go about my Saturday. I get to the tailgate and I meet someone. Ironically, he played football. We graduated the same year and had no idea of each other ever existed, even though we had mutual friends, which is crazy. And we were just attached at the hip the whole day and things were great. You know, we were spending the whole game together, and he actually didn't want to go to homecoming either because he had gone out the night before and didn't feel like driving down. And so we both went begrudgingly and met each other very unexpectedly, and things were great. By halftime, he's holding my hand. By third quarter, he's offering me his sweatshirt because I wasn't planning on staying that long and it was getting cold. Maryland has this huge play. He goes in for a kiss right before they scored the winning touchdown, and it was like literally a Hallmark movie. He walked me to my car, held my hand, kissed me goodnight, and then invited me up to where he lives in New Jersey the following weekend. And from that point on, it was talking every day, and it just felt like a fairy tale. And I said in my last video, if it worked with him, great. If it didn't, it was honestly the pause that my body needed in the IVF and fertility process. It is definitely an emotional, draining roller coaster. There is highs and lows. I had, like I said, the 3 failed IUIs, which were very emotional. And then just my body didn't feel like my own after going through all those egg retrievals and hormones. So the thought of starting more hormones for the transfer around Thanksgiving when I got my cycle was just a little overwhelming. So things were going really, really well with him. And then right before Thanksgiving, I got a call at work that I had to go back into sales or relocate. So part of me making this decision to jump into being a single mom by choice was I had gotten a promotion about 2 years ago and things were going really well. I was working Monday through Friday again, which worked for a conventional daycare center. I had better maternity leave benefits with just my pay not being 100% commission. And so I felt like now was the time I could actually do it. And so had some big decisions to make, whether that be to relocate to Atlanta or to stay here and go back into sales. Neither option I really liked, to be honest with you. You know, going to Atlanta was a fresh start and I could stay in management, but that means leaving my house, leaving my friends and my support system here. I have great neighbors. My best friends are here. My life is here. I've spent and worked really hard the last 2 years to create my life here outside of work, because back in sales, I was just work. And while that's put me in a great financial position to be a single mom by choice, it wasn't a well-rounded life and added to some mental health and anxiety for me. So I got to a much better place being a sales manager than actually selling homes. So trying to make that decision, I'm hoping that it's temporary. Ultimately, I ended up staying here in Maryland, obviously. And I'm back in sales as of January 1st. And I'm hoping that something will open back up Q4 possibly, maybe Q3 of this year, worst case scenario 2026, but I'll have more information on what's happening with work probably in the next month or two. really just trying to understand what the opportunities look like here, or if I do need to consider a relocation. The other piece with the relocation was I had to make a decision in about 2 weeks, and I only had a 72-hour visit down there. And I just felt like that is such a big life change to make on such short notice. And I just wasn't in the mental headspace to do that. Plus, I have this budding relationship that's going really, really well. And granted, at that point, it was only a month into it, but we were talking every day, seeing each other on the weekends, and things were going well. And I just didn't know how the relationship would be successful either if I had moved to Atlanta. And I also felt like for my whole life, I've given up so much of my personal life for work. And I wasn't about to do that anymore. I wanted to prioritize my friends and my life that I have here and this potential relationship, whether it worked out or not. I just needed to put myself first over my career for the first time in a really long time. So fast forward, holidays come and go. We hadn't seen each other too much over the holidays time just because it's busy, right? Like Christmas shopping and holiday parties and work and just a variety of different things and travel. It wasn't super easy for us to see each other, but we still were talking every day. I was getting I miss you texts, just kind of planning seeing each other when we finally could. And I got back from Maine from visiting my family. I drove up this year. So the weekend after, I was really hoping that he would make the trip down here to see me, so I didn't have to drive 2 hours back the other direction where I had just come from. And we're trying to make plans. He was just being very non-committal to plans, but getting the I really want to see you, I miss you texts, all of that. Wake up to an I miss you text on a Friday morning, making small talk, asking him again, what's the plans for this weekend? Am I going to see you? And get a text that he'll call me after a basketball game before he goes to a friend's birthday party that night. And that was it. After 2 months of talking every day, that was the last I heard from him. Went through a variety of emotions, from being concerned, because I do know that he had a birthday party that night, making sure that he was okay and nothing happened, there was no accidents, to also just being hurt. I don't understand how someone could look at their phone and just blatantly ignore someone, especially that they supposedly cared about and missed and was talking to every day. I just can't imagine being in that mental space. Was very confused, very hurt, very sad, and then just worried at the same time. And, I don't think I've ever been ghosted ever in my life. I am a big, I love communication. I'm probably a little more direct than most. And I just feel like communication is key. And at the end of the day, we're adults. I'm 35. I'm about to be 36. He's 36, about to be 37. And we should be able to communicate. If you're not into me, that's fine. Let's just talk about it and move on. Or if you're going through something, let me know. I'm here to support you. I genuinely cared about him. So at the end of the day, he has some things that he is working on and working through. I have spoken to him. It did take a full month for him to respond to a text. Obviously, I wasn't texting him every day or that often over the last month. I stopped texting him a while ago, and he resurfaced about a week ago. And so just really trying to let him have that space to work through what he needs to work on. But at the end of the day, if he could just ghost me and, not communicate where he's at and what he's going through and what he needs, is that really somebody that I want to be with? We all have our stuff and no one's perfect. And I genuinely cared though, and I want to support him, and I would love to see where it could go. But by the same token, I know that I deserve better than someone coming in and out of my life when it works for them. I have a lot to give. I have a big heart. I love really hard. And I just think that the respect of talking to someone and communicating where you're at is the least that you can do for someone. So at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, right? I can't even imagine had I gone forward with a transfer, in December because life is just insane, right? I can't imagine being in the middle of a transfer cycle, getting the news that I got for work that I either had to relocate or go back into sales, because going back into sales, my maternity leave benefits look a lot different. You get $1,500 a month for short-term disability, which is absolutely insane. I would want more money saved if that was the case. And then also if I was relocating, like moving my entire life and being pregnant at the same time, like what? No, like that's absolutely psychotic. Could I do it? Sure. Is it in the perfect way that I want to do it? No. So I just can't imagine going through that at that time. So in a sense, everything worked out the way it was supposed to. And right now, everything's still on pause. I am just starting back into sales, getting my feet wet with that. Hopefully in the next month or two, I'll have an idea what the sales manager opportunities look like staying here in Maryland around the end of the year or 2026 to better plan my life. Or if I need to seriously consider relocating, we can go down that path as well and really start wrapping my head around that versus having 2 weeks to make that decision. And then just kind of letting life happen. You know, obviously I'm not holding out hope that he's going to resurface and come back around, and I would need to do some serious thinking if I did give that another shot. But I also have a trip planned to Florida at the end of February, and my birthday's in April. So I'm really just trying to get through the spring, see what happens with work, see what happens with life. If somebody comes into my life, I may continue to press pause, but if not, I'm thinking I will start a transfer cycle at the end of May. And that would give me a spring baby, hopefully. And that sounds really, really nice. But as of right now, that's just kind of where we're at. Life has been a whirlwind of a roller coaster. And as you probably can see why I haven't been posting videos, I don't know up from down half the time, and just trying to take everything one day at a time. So that's where we're at. And I thank you all for being so curious about what's going on. And I'm so sorry for the delay in posting a life update. I do know I still owe you an IVF cost video, so I do plan on filming that. But let me know in the comment section down below what other videos you want to see and what other type of content you want to see while I'm kind of in this break prior to starting a transfer cycle at the end of May, hopefully. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next one.